The coughing never stopped. It lived in the walls, stitched into the thin fabric of the tower's breath. Every hallway echoed with it. Every stairwell. It was dry and cracked like static or crushed glass. No one flinched anymore when it started. There were no clean floors left. The sickness had taken the lower levels first. Then it rose floor by floor. The elevators died weeks ago. Electricity came only in pulses. Those who were able had fled when the rioting started. What remained was the tower and what was left inside it. They called it quarantine, but it was just abandonment. A half-sealed concrete husk with its own ecosystem of grief. No dropships, no orders, no aid. What food remained came from locked cabinets and the brave. What medicine was left had been traded or stolen. Water was rationed by those who controlled the stairwells. When the skies turned orange, people stopped watching for weather reports. Those who could afford to leave did so on foot, days before the outer city checkpoints collapsed. Those who remained spoke in hushed tones about windborne spores and failed experiments. Everyone had a theory. No one had a cure. No one except for her. No one called her that at first. She was just a child, thin arms and quiet eyes. She was carried in by a woman who had already begun to show symptoms. The makeshift infirmary had no beds left. Bodies lined the hallway like discarded sheets. The air smelled of plastic and dried blood. The nurses had stopped asking questions. They took the child in without a name, without a scan, and laid her in the far corner beside her mother. They wrapped the mother's arms around her one last time. The mother stopped breathing by morning. The girl did not cry. She sat beside the sheet and watched the sun move across the slats of broken window above her. No one came to collect the body. There was no more collection. 3 days passed. The ward stayed full. A few died and a few improved, but most lingered in the middle. The sickness did not work on a schedule. Some burned fast. Some wandered into it like a fog. But as the nurses moved between the patients, someone noticed something strange. The child was still there, still quiet, still breathing. There were no lesions on her skin, no blood in her nose, no sweat, no sign of fever. She had not coughed once. They relocated her to a quieter section of the infirmary. The same pattern unfolded. Patients nearby shifted in their sleep, but rarely worsened. Episodes grew less frequent. Numbers held steady. Nothing improved exactly, but for a time, nothing collapsed either. Some noted the timing. Others said little, uneasy with how quickly rumors take shape. Word moved faster than truth. A few of the tower's residents began leaving offerings near the girl's corner. Pieces of bread, scraps of cloth, carved symbols that no one could read anymore. It was not worship. It was survival dressed in hope. The staff tried to keep it quiet. They moved her again, this time to the hall outside the surgical room where the lights still worked. They left a monitor on her. She blinked but made no sound. 4 patients on that floor survived the week. They shouldn't have. Winter came without snow. The dust was too thick. It clung to the windows like ash, tinting the few sunbeams that still reached the upper floors. The air recycling systems wheezed to a stop. Those who could still walk began wearing filters fashioned from old shirts and plastic wrap. The others stayed inside and counted the days between tremors. 2 more towers fell in the distance. One collapsed inward like a folding cup. The other was struck from above. A bright flare lit the sky, followed by silence. When the cloud passed, only smoke remained. No one spoke of evacuations anymore. Everyone knew the dead outnumbered the living. On the 34th floor, a man tried to end his own fever by walking out into the cold. He made it to the stairs before his legs gave out. They brought him back and placed him in the cot beside the girl. He shivered for 2 days, muttering into the air, then opened his eyes and asked for food. One called her a charm. Another called her a witch. They had all seen good things become dangerous. No one trusted good things anymore. But she stayed where they placed her. She never spoke. She never cried. She never coughed. By the 3rd month, every floor had heard of her. People began to visit. Not many, not loudly, but one by one, they came. A woman with red sleeves left a doll made of bandages beside the child's cot. A boy no older than 12 brought a seed he had been hiding since the riots began. No one asked why. There were no prayers spoken, only pauses. The kind that come when no one knows how to speak in front of something they don't understand. One night, a breach occurred 3 levels below. A group in salvage armor stormed the stairwell, claiming rights to food and control. The residents fought back with pipes and smoke. It lasted 6 minutes. 14 were killed. 3 were taken. The infirmary braced for more. The girl was hidden behind a curtain of old coats. But no one came for her. No one crossed that line. One of the attackers who made it to the hall collapsed before reaching the main ward. He died before the hour turned. Some said he passed within sight of her cot. Some said he didn't. The tower adjusted again. The stairwells were chained. The halls were narrowed with debris. But the girl remained where she was, and those around her survived. A young technician attempted to scan her using a handheld diagnostic lens. The device returned nothing. No ID, no heat signature, no chemical trace. He tried again with a different frequency. Still nothing. She was there, but not there. The machine could not confirm her. In the days that followed, people stopped bringing machines near her. She responded only to hands. When someone placed food in her palm, she would eat. When someone offered water, she would sip. She never said no, and she never asked for anything. Spring arrived by sound, not by color. Somewhere outside, a new kind of engine passed overhead. It did not hover. It screamed. The windows rattled for nearly a minute before returning to stillness. After that, the skies above the tower remained empty. No birds, no trails, only gray. Inside the infirmary, rations grew thinner. A bag of mill dust was divided among 13 hands. Water was filtered through increasingly torn screens. Some said they tasted metal. Others said they tasted nothing at all. But the child remained untouched. She had not grown. She had not weakened. Her body obeyed no curve. She moved only when necessary, breathing as if the air had never changed. Those who lay near her still passed through fever and hallucination, but few tipped over the edge. Recovery was slow, but real. Eventually, a soldier arrived. He did not come with orders. He did not wear a flag. His face was burned. His suit was cracked, but he was alive, and he carried a beacon on his back. It blinked once every 12 seconds. Blue, then white, then blue again. He had crossed 6 districts on foot. He reported that the outside world was gone. No safe zones left, only fragments. The cities had shattered like glass, and no one was sweeping up. They brought him to the infirmary. His pulse was failing. His lungs had been seared by the upper atmosphere. The girl was placed beside him. He opened one eye, stared at her, and fell asleep. One morning, the coughing slowed. No one noticed at first. It had become background noise like wind or hunger. But then someone walked the hall and realized it was missing. The long echo, the rhythm of the dying. The last person in the burn unit sat up. A nurse removed her mask. A child with a broken ankle laughed once and didn't stop. Not because of joy, but because the air felt lighter. By dusk, the girl was gone. Her cot was empty, her blanket folded. The doll in the seed remained. No one saw her leave. No one admitted to moving her. The monitor showed nothing. But in the days that followed, the sickness faded. The tower remained broken. The war never ended. The sky stayed gray. But in the wards and narrow halls, people began to sleep through the night. Months later, in a different zone, another clinic took in a new patient. A small child, quiet, thin, calm. The nurses noted her silence. She showed no signs of infection. When the lights failed that night, the hallway around her room stayed lit. She did not cough.